Thank
is
you.
said that don't bring customers for your product, instead bring products for the customers. That said, it is really essential for a company to find the right market to introduce their products. Our next keynote speaker, Piyush Kumar, founder and CEO, Router, will be addressing the audience on the topic, finding product market for your company. Over to you, sir.
Hi, Nehal. Hi, Ravi. Thanks for the opportunity. Great session so far. Having listening to so many good leaders here, and most of you touched upon particularly how life has been over the last 2 years for all of us. So great insights. And I thought I'll talk about something which is slightly different from what has been spoken so far. Just give me a second. I need to. Yeah. Okay. So I think the topic that I wanted to touch upon was all about product market fit, and this comes from a very real example of how Router shaped up over the last 2 years. We had a lot of learnings, and I wanted to take this opportunity to share that. But before that, I just quickly wanted to introduce what Router is. If both, I mean, I'm sure most of you won't know as much about it. So we are a game streaming platform. We are like Twitch for India, but we are building it for the mobile gaming audience. And as you have seen, that one of the biggest category that has come out of the entire COVID situation, the entire lockdown, is gaming, where almost everybody is either playing games or is watching some of the other content, and which is where Router comes in. Now, why did I choose this topic to talk about? It's because it's very close to my heart in terms of how we as an organization, the patient, me as leaders, and all our colleagues learned how to shape up a product as the time changes around us. So a quick snapshot, Router was founded in 2016. We started the company to be a sports engagement platform. We wanted to connect fans with each other. We failed almost regularly since 2016 to 2019, when we were building new features, but we were not able to find our product market fit. We were not able to scale much faster. And then in 2019, we started to put our learnings into gaming. And as soon as the lockdown happened, it gave us an opportunity to get into gaming. And since then, it's been a great story. We have added close to 25 million users. And I think in all possible ways, the product has done well. But the key thing here is that what is product market fit? And the reason I say this is because we believe that it's the most important part of any category, any product that we are looking for, whether it is a D2C brand, whether it is a services company, whether it is a product company, whether it is a digital company like ours, where we start to look at our product from the perspective of whether there is a clear need in the market or not. And few things. I mean, for starters, product market fit, in terms of how we look at it in a digital world, is essentially the fact that when you're building a product for which there is a need in the market, and for which the market is big enough to address. When we were building sports product, the market was very big, but the features that we were building didn't have that kind of a need. But in the gaming, avatar that Router has, we not only have a very strong product market fit in terms of the way users are using our product, but there's also a huge market that we're addressing. Now, and the learning here is that how do you find that out? How do you know that the product that you're building or you're going to build has a strong product market fit? Now, there are multiple ways that you find that out. One is, of course, the growth. Your growth is a clear indicator of how your product is being met in the market. A lot of things have changed around us over the last 2 years, and I think most of the companies, most of the products are re-looking at the way their product is. Some of us have done very well. Some of us have found a great market for us. Some of us have found a great growth and sales for us, but many other categories are kind of struggling. And the key here is that we have seen a lot of these industries who have adopted, who have changed into the new norm, have started to do well, right? So there are multiple indicators. One is, of course, the growth. The other thing that we look at is word of mouth, which is that how many people are suddenly talking about you. That creates a lot of empathy towards the product. Third is, of course, sales. If your product is being driven by sales, your sales will start to show great uptick when your product has found a product market fit. In tech products like Router or any other app, you would see user retention going up. And then there are few indicators of how LTV to CAC is, which basically means that the lifetime value that you're creating out of a user versus the cost of acquisition. What is that ratio? And if that ratio is 2:1 or even 1.5:1 in early stages, it means that your product is doing well, which basically means that if you spend 10 rupees to get a customer and if you're able to make 15 rupees until he's still using your product, or 20 rupees until he's still using the product, that's where we see as a great product market fit. Now, how do we go out to achieve this? There are few key learnings. One is, of course, that the management, the leadership has to be very clear about what is the product goal, what is the product hypothesis, so which basically means that why do we see that this is a certain product goal that we want to achieve, and how do you define it? In case of gaming, for example, or in case of Router, our product goal was to essentially create a very strong demand and supply side of the market, which basically means we wanted to have a lot of users who come to our app and create and consume content. But at the same time, we wanted to have a lot of creators, a lot of streamers who come and use Router to reach out to their audience and to monetize their content. So with this hypothesis and the fact that we were seeing a huge increase in the creator economy, we went ahead. Third is, of course, the entire feedback mechanism. I've seen a lot of examples where companies and the product managers continue to build product without having a feedback mechanism from customers. We don't look at our we don't look at our feedbacks, our ratings, our reviews very seriously. And I think at Router, for us, we take the reviews on the Play Store, and we take every other feedback that comes to us through emails and our different touch points for the customers very, very seriously. So there's a lot of learning over there. Then, of course, one of the early ways that we learned about it is basically, and something which I'm very passionate about, and I encourage a lot of people to do it, is something called minimum viable product. So basically, if you have an idea or you want to make an iteration to your product, you make a very basic version of that product and go into the market and see how people are reacting to it. A lot of times we waste a lot of resources, time to make something which we later realize is not needed in the market. So MVP is a very, very important part of any product journey, and something that we at Router take very, very seriously. And whatever has happened with us over the last 2 years has happened because whether it is an MVP or whether it is the entire format of A/B testing, which means you try two options and see which one is doing well, works very well for us. Last is, of course, the market traction, how the market is responding to it, in terms of investors, how the media is responding to it, how different level of old or new customers are responding to it comes into play. And once you have achieved product market fit, I think that's where the real journey starts. For us, back in 2020, during the COVID, when the product started to do well, we started to get good growth, we started to make revenue, is when we decided to take the product forward. And the product market fit is essentially just the start of the journey. It's not the situation where you just believe that, okay, now that product market fit has come, you're almost at mid or the end of the journey. It's basically where the things start from. So the reason I thought I'll highlight some bits about this topic is because the more I observe entrepreneurs and leaders from outside, the more I realize that a lot of us live in sort of a bubble where we don't have indicators of how a certain product or a certain variant of a product or a certain feature we think is doing well, and we don't put certain numbers behind it, we don't measure it, and then we continue to spend money on marketing or multiple other avenues to support an hypothesis which perhaps may not be true. So being a very data driven company, being a very user feedback driven company really helps, something that has helped us here. And I wanted to take this opportunity to share this learning with all of you, because uh, we are a very we believe at Router we are an extremely lucky company, because not many companies can survive first 4.5 years without finding product market fit. And the hustle that our team showed, the hustle that all of us, our investors, backed us, allowed us to get more time to get there. But we were very clear that, we were very clear about where we wanted to go, and that has really helped us, and we are extremely excited about how things will go from here. We want to continue working hard and continue to build Router on the basis of our product market fit, which came, almost 15 to 18 months back. So that's from my end. I hope it helps people who are listening to this conversation. And yeah, I'm here. If you need any help, you can reach out to me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure our audience must have thought that this was a really insightful session. Thank you so much.